just got to say it and get it out of my system. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. I say this with love, 33. My name is Leanne. I'm 57. I'm very uncomfortable sitting here at a park, filming myself, talking into a camera, because this is not normal for me. But the stories that I bring you and the energy that I bring is gonna be fully me, my full authentic self, and it's not gonna be perfect, and it's not gonna be professional all the time, and it's not gonna be everything that I've watched on YouTube and all the videos of how to start a channel, how to do this, what not to do, what to do. And I've watched thousands and thousands of videos to get to the place of educating myself and learning how to do this, because I am going through with this. I have to. My soul is calling me to do this. My heart says, let's do this. Let's go. Let's help humanitarian people. So I'm not going to be editing this first video because, to be honest, editing is very vast and it scares me a little bit, and I'm still working on my skills of talking into a camera, getting it onto YouTube, and figuring out how to edit. So I thought, you know what? Everybody says you need to edit, you need to do this, like everything needs to be perfect and in line. But how is it authentic if it's not fully me speaking and flowing from the bottom of my heart? So I'm going to give it a try to not edit and just flow with what comes out. Perhaps in the future, I'll say, oh my God, what was I thinking? Oi, Lee, you need to edit. But then right now, I'm going to be like, no, I'm just going to give it to you raw and natural. As you can see, I have no makeup on, and I just got done with a walk at the beautiful park around the lake. Being out in nature and moving my body and listening to music and podcasts is a space that centers me and grounds me, and I absolutely am so grateful to be here. I'm going to get through this podcast and give you some information about myself and go through so many videos that talk about my healing, my experiences, my high points, my low points, and maybe it'll resonate with you. Maybe it won't. I'm not sure, but I have to get it out there. I've been lucky enough to be able to attend a couple seminars that I got to witness people sharing their stories and even saying things for the first time, and you can just see and feel the energy release out of their bodies, and just like, ah. And that happened to me. I can attest to that. I was a true survivor of getting up and speaking my story. Now, it took me 3 days to get the nerve to get up there and do that, but on the third day, something was pulling me and like, you gotta talk, get onto the microphone, talk. So this brings me to a space and a story I want to talk about, the uncomfortableness of me speaking into this camera. I was a preschool teacher for many years. I taught 4 and 5-year-olds, and I had to talk very fast. I had to talk a lot. I had to fight for airspace, because with 4 and 5-year-olds, they're like, blah, 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 and I'm trying to teach them. But even deeper than that, my whole life, I gave the power of my voice away. As a child in a traumatic household and upbringing, as everybody out there has some point of that in their world, but I lost my voice. I was not able to feel confident that my voice mattered. I didn't want to cause any waves. I just wanted to go with the flow. And throughout the first 54 years of my life, that's how I lived. And I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, that doesn't feel good, and that is not healthy. Your voice matters. Everything you have to say matters. And I am learning that still. And it's a road that I will stay on and continue to drive down and heal and push into it, because I still find myself at times like, ooh, I shouldn't say that, or no, I'm just going to be quiet. You know, you have to be mindful and you have to be aware of the energy and the intentions behind the words that want to come out of your mouth. But as deep as I let it go throughout my first 54 years of life, it was building up the Great Wall of China in my whole soul and my whole body. So work with me. I'm still learning that and getting comfortable with that, and it'll get better and easier over time. Hey, helicopter. So with the power of giving your voice away, that also puts you into victim mentality. My whole life, I didn't really consider myself a victim. I just thought, this is life. This is the way things go. Like, I'm tough. Let's just keep moving forward. I'm just going to brush everything under the carpet and keep moving forward and deal with it later, which, you know, I never dealt with it later. So it was going to fester out and come out eventually. And trust me, this is going to happen to everybody. Energy and feelings have to be dealt with. Otherwise, it's going to come out at some point, like mine did, unexpectedly. So the victim mentality and the knowledge of that and the learning about victim mentality came 54 years into my life. Like I said, I just pushed forward and did everything and moved myself beyond any uncomfortable feelings. Oh, let's just pretend that never happened. Or if I don't say anything, maybe they won't get mad and they're not going to yell, because I didn't know how to handle anger. I didn't know how to handle opposition. I didn't know how to have a healthy argument. I never learned that. My parents were unable to teach me that. And as I grew up and became a wife and a mom and had my own relationship, I never wanted confrontation. I was scared. I lived in fear of confrontation. If I didn't agree with everybody, I'm not a good person. If I didn't make sure everything was okay for everybody, I'm not worthy. If I didn't do everything for everybody and try to prove my worth with my physical aspects or how nice I am and how much I give everybody, then I'm unworthy. Now, I didn't really know this all those years. I just knew this made me feel good doing all this stuff at that moment. But afterwards, I would feel exhausted, depleted, perhaps even resentful. Well, like, I do everything for them and they don't even want to give me like 5 seconds of time when I ask them for a favor. So expectations are a huge learning event as well. I learned that I was a former people pleaser. Probably the number one type A people pleaser. I wanted to please everybody because that made me feel worthy. I wanted to make sure that everybody in my family, in my household, had everything they needed at every minute of the day. I was the perfect wife, the perfect mom, the perfect teacher's aide, the perfect shopper, the perfect nurse. Like, you name it, I did everything up and beyond and above what I needed to do to give myself value and make me feel worthy, because I didn't know that me just being here alive as a human breathing is already enough. And that kind of chokes me up a little bit because that was very hard. That was very hard to accept and surrender to. And I'm there, but talking about it and re-feeling it, woo, that's deep. I spent 54 years of my life living that way.
and it's behind me. But I remember those feelings, and they are in my cells and in my joints and in my bones and everywhere within me. And I know there's lots of people out there that have this same feeling. And I want you to know there is hope. There is a space that you can get to with a lot of hard work to step out of that feeling and that subconscious belief that you are not worthy unless you are doing everything for everybody. But guess what? Not for yourself. Never did I ever administer self-care to me, to my heart, to my body. I did everybody else, but not me. And who's the most important in one's own world? Yourself. It's good to know after 54 years. And that's why I want to help so many people out there to maybe get this information earlier than the first 54 years of their life. Maybe later, I don't know. But the people that I come across, the people in my lives, co-workers, teachers of my kids, parents of my kids' friends, like we are all just dealing with life the best that we know how. And it's painful. It could be dark. It could be light. It could be fun. It could be abusive. It could be toxic. It could be so many things. And I did envelop all those symptoms and signs unknowingly a lot of times. A lot of times throughout my life, I would have feelings down in my gut, which is intuition. But I never allowed myself to feel those intuitions and feelings because I didn't have the awareness and the confidence that my own intuition and my own feelings and thoughts were worthy or right. I never trusted myself. I always put somebody else's thoughts, opinion, words, voice ahead of mine. I always took the backseat willingly. And that makes it hard for the other person on the other end when one does that. But I know that now. So now, after the last 3 years of some deep healing, I don't live my life. I don't go 1 second of the day without feeling. What does my gut tell me? What does my intuition say? What does my heart feel like? Because if my heart feels like something is expanding it and it feels good, I'm going to do it. That's like a 2 thumbs up. Yeah, let's do this. If something contracts my heart and I get that icky feeling inside and my gut's like, no, I don't like that energy or that doesn't feel good, you know what? I'm going to say no. I'm not doing it. And that's okay. It's okay to say no. It's okay to have boundaries. I didn't. And I was guilty and shameful and fearful of boundaries. I did not know how to have healthy boundaries or any at that matter. So, knowing that now, if I knew that then, what I know now, then I wouldn't be the person that I am today, because we all have to go through these lessons and these times to learn. And the universe is going to keep bringing those lessons back, seeing if you've fully learned and accepted those lessons. And me, I'm going to say I'm a badass, because the universe kept whipping out these hard life lessons that I called in, and they kept repeating. And then, at certain times I would be feeling like, damn, like, what is going on? Like, why is my life like this? Like, what happened? And the universe is probably saying, like, okay, did you learn your lesson? And I'm like, unconsciously, like, no, bring it to me, bro. Bring it at me. Let's go. Let's learn some more hard lessons. Holy mackerel. As I look back now throughout my life and think of all the hard lessons and all the stories, damn, like I am hard-headed and I got a lot to share because those lessons were hard. I mastered them. And I can say that with confidence. I mastered them. I'm not perfect. Each day is a lesson and a learning experience, but I do come with a full open heart and an open mind to bring that out to humanity and to the collective. I know I can't prevent anybody from going through hard times because everybody has to do what they have to do, but I hold space for them, and I don't anymore because I was a very, very, what do I say, defensive person and judgmental person and not an observational person. But I've learned to say, and my motto in life now is never say never. I was the type of person the first 54 years of my life to be like, I would never do this, or I would never say that. Oh my God, look at her. I would never wear that. Or somebody's going through something in their life, like, wow, like I would never let that person do that to me. Well, you know what? Like, people are out there looking at me saying the same stuff and the same story. Now that I've awakened and I've done some deep healing, and I was in preschool for 8 years as a teacher with 4 and 5-year-olds. Let this motorcycle pass. I can say that I'm truly an observation of everybody that I come around every day, that I come across. I just observe. I don't judge, because that is separation. And I could be judging one person because of the way they look, or, you know, their weight, or their clothes, or their car, or whatever. But somebody else is turning around and like judging me, like we're all judging each other, and like putting that separation into the world of a bad energy. And truthfully, like, we are all one. We are all the same. We don't look the same. We don't have the same stories. We don't have the same hopes and dreams. But we're all human on this earth, dealing with the same traumas, stories, lessons, etc. This can go so deep. And I'm going to do my best on my channel to answer as many questions and help as many people as I can from my heart. This is going to be such a safe space for people to come to. When I started my journey of healing 3 years ago, I had an awakening, and I'll explain that in another video. I did have an awakening, and I knew something was different inside me, but I didn't know what. And from that point on, that was on a weekend, on a Saturday, and Sunday I was just kind of like, whoa, this is like trippy. I don't know what's going on inside me, but something's different. Monday I went to work, and I went on YouTube, and I'm like, what is happening to me, and what is wrong with me, and why do I feel this way? Because I always took everything on as it's my fault. I'm to blame. I need to better myself. I'm not as good as I should be. I should be a better mom. I should be a better wife. I should be a better teacher. I should be a better gardener. I should be a better chef. I should be a better nurse. I should be a better pet owner. I should be a better blah, 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 blah. So I went on YouTube, and I'm like, what is wrong? Why am I not happy? You know, all in the search bar, and some things came up and some doctors came up, and that was a transformational moment for me, because one specific person came up on the subject of what I was living in my life at that time, but I didn't know it. And just to hear her talk she's a doctor, to hear her talk and to feel her energy and to have her say things that I have been living for 54 years, like, opened me up. My like soul, my heart, my solar plexus, my gut was just like open, listen. Oh my God, that was like the beginning of my healing journey. My whole healing journey over these past 3 years have been on YouTube and listening to different doctors, podcasts, listening to people's stories. When people tell their stories, and I was I would listen again and again and again. Like, I'm the type of person that will watch a podcast or listen to a video probably 5 to 10 times, because each time I listen to it, I get something different. I hear something different. I feel something, and I can feel my heart expanding or contracting. So I'm not like necessarily listening to everybody's stuff and doing everything they do because I want to be that person and I want to get to their space. I can't do that. Like, that's impossible. We're all in our own step of the process. But I can listen and have an open heart and an open mind and take into my heart what resonates with me and go forward from there. And that's what I did. I question things. I feel things. I allowed myself to have an open mind and listen to a different perspective, listen to somebody else's experience. And like I said, I'm a hard learner. I take a lot of hard lessons, so I have to hear it again and again and again and again. And it's just absolutely beautiful to hear people share their stories on YouTube. Like, why not? Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's not normal. Yes, like the world puts out there and society puts out there, oh God, like, you're 57. Should you really be out there on camera doing that? Or you have to do this, you have to wear this, you have to put on this, you have to look a certain way, you have to talk a certain way, you have to have all these rules and regulations to be a successful content creator. And that put so much fear in me for so many months. And now I'm like, you know what? As I'm taking my walk today and listening to a beautiful podcast, I'm like, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm doing it. Like, my heart is calling me to do that. And why am I putting up limitations? Why am I putting up so many walls to just turn my camera on, make a video, and put it out there? Like, that's the step. Yeah, I'll probably turn around at this and laugh in a few years or months or whatever. I don't know. I'll never say never, but I'm not going to hold back. I learned in the last 3 years, like, don't say no unless it's severely contracting your heart and it's not safe. Which, how is this not safe when I'm sitting at a beautiful lake with the breeze and these beautiful trees and there's ducks? It's just absolutely spectacular, and I'm so grateful to be here. It does feel more comfortable as the minutes go by. So I'm going to wrap this video up for my first one. Sometimes you're going to see me with high energy. Sometimes I'll probably be like just blah. I'm a pretty energetic person just by trait, you know? I love to move. I don't like to sit and be idle. Sometimes I want to put on makeup and curl my hair. Sometimes I don't. I want to put myself out there as raw and natural and true because that's important and that's authentic. I'm not always going to be all glorified and beautified, but you know what? I have a heart that is happy. I have light inside my soul. I am here to help heal humanitarian things. And sometimes I might fumble my words and sometimes I might make mistakes, but you know, that's life. And as being a preschool teacher for 8 years, and every mistake that I made or said and those little kiddos pointed out to me, I just got to laugh like, okay, well, so it's not perfect. Who is perfect? Not me. And if I was, that's not authentically me. So I'm not going to give you that. I'll never say never, but I appreciate you being here on my channel. Please hit the subscribe button, come back for more videos. Leave any comments in the comment section. I appreciate everybody being here, and I say this with love.